Hi guys, welcome back to our video again. So in this video, we gotta strip down the FJR. As we did on the previous check, there are a few areas that we need to touch up. So probably it will take a few hours to strip it down. So let's see how it goes. We take out the seat, the rear, and then followed by the front. There's a clip here. There are one or two hidden screws inside here. So we have to unscrew all this. Quick release bolt. This is the part where the Gen 2 allows you to adjust your fairing wind protection. We have one bolt here and one bolt here inside. In order to remove this panel, you got to remove the strip that is covering the tank, Allen key at the side, and also a rivet. And then you get two more pins inside that you need to pull out on each side. So now it's being removed. Okay, so it took us about an hour to strip it down, except the tank. So we will probably remove the tank when we are ready to do the throttle body service. So right now we will focus on the radiator, which is the coolant flush. So early on we have just topped up the coolant and we realize now it's like pretty dirty. So not sure if it's the tank that is dirty or the coolant has already changed its color. Previously it was yellow, so we can still see it's pretty much yellow. Okay, so in order to reach the coolant cap, which is hidden here, so all we need to do is just to remove this black color panel, where you need to remove a screw here after you open this, and then a screw here, two more rivets which is linked to the inner panel, and I think you will have access. So before we drain out, so you just want to release this radiator cap, so just keep it loose and air can goes in. Next, we will come to the right side where the water pump is, and then this will be the bolt, the drain bolt. As you can see, there's a copper washer inside here, so this will be it. So all we have to do is to loosen it and let the water flow out. So pretty much like pee, you just let it flow, and then we will also drain out the reservoir tank. So I was trying to inspect, is there any sign of scaling, but looks good. So well maintained from the previous owners. So now we need to remove this 10mm bolt to take out this tank. Okay, so what we see here is pretty much clear. So probably it's the tank that is dirty, we gotta wash it. So we took out the plastic radiator guard. It's just being held by 10mm bolt. It's at the side here, just behind the horn bracket. So we can see that there's a lot of rock and gravel stuck inside. So what we are trying to do is to unstuck it. Also use a flathead screwdriver to straighten out as much as possible. Since we have to bring this back to wash, so we also take out the air filter back to wash as well. Air filter is at the side here. So probably we got to take out this cover. So we need to take out the screw at the side in order to take out the air filter cover. So there are 4 screws, so once you loosen them, you'll be able to take out the cover and then followed by your air filter. So very ironic, this is not a K&N, but the sticker shows K&N. I think this is the Simota or something like that. So we use something to block off the intake. So since the air filter will be not around for at least a day, so we use this cleaning kit from K&N to clean the air filter. Although it's a different brand, but it should work. So you can see the inner is pretty dirty. This side is much cleaner. So we'll spray from the inside out. So we have been soaking it around 10 minutes. You can see some dirt coming out. So this is what came up from the air filter. We gotta rinse it from outside in because the dirt are inside. And then now this, much cleaner at the bottom. So on the reserve tank cover is already cracked. So what we are doing now is we use a gasket maker to try to seal it back. Okay, next we will use some fresh water to just flush out the balance coolant inside, so you can still see some yellowish water coming out. And then we will use the new coolant. So we bought the pink one because it's easier to see at the reservoir tank. Remember to tighten back the drain bolt before you put in your new coolant. Then we will just pour in the coolant. So once we see that it's filled to the brim, we can cap it back. So there ought to be air inside, but we will sort that out later on. So before you take off the tank is 25 liter. So probably if you can, draw out some petrol, else don't remove it while it's full tank because it's 25 kilo. So total there are 4 boats, 2 here and 2 here, 1 on each side. So these are 12 nm hex boat. Okay, so it's not a 2-piece boat, it's a 1-piece axle. Since it's an axle, we will bolt it back. So basically we use our mallet to just keep the tank up, so we don't need to bring down the whole tank. And then we'll just remove the fuel pump connectors and also the fuel line. Okay, so what we want to do is to remove this silver heat pack, which is packed underneath this support bar. So what we need to do now is to remove this support bar. It's a 14 mm bolt. So we got to loosen this and take it out. Okay, so just take it out. Surprise, surprise, we see like extra washer here. So next we can remove this heat shield and see what's inside. Okay, the clutch cable is all the way hidden inside, so it's a pain in the ass to change it. But probably the line will be around 1 meter to 120 meter. So that's just our estimation. Probably we will just make do with it. So right now we will pull out all the 4 injector coil, 1, 2, 3, and last one 4 here. Then I will try to extract out the spark plug and inspect the spark plug. Okay, so we will inspect the spark plug. So it should be around 0.7 to 0.8 gap. So in order to get a better view of the whole layout, we move out the tank. So we have also checked through all the spark plugs, which are all good in spec. Okay, so we have tidied up some of the loose cable here, which is sitting on this plastic cover that makes some rattle noise when you are driving on rougher terrain. We also tidied up some of the cable that has dropped out from here. One of them are from the regulator. Okay, so right now I'm gonna move on to this very tedious part, which is this mess here. So we are trying to figure out what was done. Okay, I know this is just solely for the horn. And then this is the IU, this is the switch, and also one for the voltmeter. So we are trying to find out what's what, then we will sort this out because there are too many unnecessary excess double or duplicated cables. Okay, so we have removed the extra relay kind of setting and then just use back the original horn terminal on both ends. So these are the stock line. So this bike comes with 2 horns by default. I don't know why they need to add another relay just to get the other horn working. So something weird. So next we found out that this single relay actually controls multiple items. So one, it controls the voltmeter. So it also controls the IU. It's also linked to the switch to set up this fog light. Okay, so right now we have identified all the cables, where they are, and then who belongs to what. So right now we will find ways to shorten it. So we will drop off this fuse box and then try to create some like a single fuse and then probably hide somewhere on the right panel. After removing all this extra cables and extra stuff, and also we managed to tidy up the whole area. So right now everything is labeled, so there will be only light IU and have the voltmeter. Okay, so the next phase we gotta cover back the cover and see whether everything fits. Okay, so we have fixed up the right fairing and we have also connected back the fuel tank. So next we gotta do is oil the air filter, pop it in before we start it up. So now we are here back to put back the air filter. So as we can see, after some time of settling, there are excess oil. So we gotta clean this off before we put it in. So put it in and then now we put the cover back. Okay, so we fire up, everything sounds okay, sounds good. The voltmeter is also looks fine. So now we are ready to just pop back all the covers. So we put back the heat shield and then also this T-bar. So more or less we have assembled back the bike. So what we need to do now is just run through a few heat cycles just to ensure that the coolant is sufficient and we are ready to pop back. On the next video, we will do the brake pad, ABS cycle with the brake fluid flush and also the engine oil change. So that's all for this video. Hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.